All right, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Tacos en Europa. I am Jorge,
My name is Edgar.
and we're here to talk about the game that happened today. We had Panama versus Mexico, the third place game that nobody cared about, that nobody wanted to watch, but we're gonna talk about it anyway because that's what we're here for.
But first, Jorge, can you tell us why we didn't have an episode for the Mexico against USA game?
What? Go.
Why didn't we have an episode about the Mexico versus US game?
Because I was sad, man. Because I didn't feel like it. Okay. So next time, if you see that we didn't do one, we didn't feel like it because we were sad.
Yeah, I remember we were talking in the Spanish version, and you say, "You know what, man? I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore."
It's frustrating, man. And even today, like it's a win, but it's not a win. You know, it's not. It just doesn't matter. You know, what matters is this game right here that's just finishing up right now. USA 2, Canada 0. They get the second trophy in a row. The first two Nations League ever. They take them. And I don't know, man. Let's just talk about what matters right now. Talk about Panama, which was, you know, a little change of pace. We go back to that 4-3-3 lineup, you know, that four at the back. Hidden a little bit is a 4-2-3-1, if you want to call it. I think the best news we see here is that we see Johan Vasquez on the field. We see Santi Jimenez on the field. Osiel Herrera is on there as well, youngster. And, you know, we have little nuggets that we can save like that. Nobody played amazing, but they're on the field. And it's that little bit of good news that we can talk about. And Araujo, I forgot, I was also on there. So it's a little bit of good news we can talk about.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is that they played. The bad news is that some of them play really bad.
The good news is that they played. The bad news is that they played.
No, the bad news is how some of them played.
There you go.
I mean, Herrera was non-existent. Johan made some clear mistakes. The Araujo was missing for long parts of the game. We were like Mexico as a unit were cheating on Antuna, but he was the only one creating things. What he created was shit, but he created it.
We need to keep the same energy that we kept in the Spanish episode. So let's talk about the same thing we talked about, which was that to me, like as an idea of what Antuna is in this team, as like I see what Coca sees. Like I see what he wants him to do.
Not only Coca, this comes since Tata.
Yeah, from Tata.
Antuna is the second choice right winger.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I understand, and I understand what they see in him.
He's the second best scorer for the
against USA.
No. In general, he's the second best scorer of the national team since like 18.
So it's little things like that. So like forgetting the stats, forgetting all that though, like I see what they see in him. It's just like, and it worked today. Like those long balls, he ran, he's fast, he made it, and then he was able to make it to the attacking third. It's just that final pass just wasn't reaching the destination, and it happened a couple times. Boom, boom, boom. We get there, bad pass. Get there, bad pass, or like one too many cuts. You know, things like that. So like. That's the only thing that stops him from actually like doing something. But like, I understand the game plan because it was working. It just wasn't being executed at the last step. So like, that's why I'm saying like, I'm not a complete, I understand why he's there, but obviously he's not performing. But like you said, there's nobody else. So like, who else are we going to put?
Yeah, behind Antuna, I honestly don't know who's the next right winger. I think it's Brian Gonzalez from Pachuca.
But like you were gonna put Lainez? You were gonna put Lainez in there? What was gonna be different?
That's the thing. Lainez is kind of better on the left and on the centers. You wanna put him there? Put him. I mean,
like Vega was injured, Cordova wasn't ready to go. You know, so like, yeah, you can argue those for this tournament, but like the truth is that like right now, health wise, we only had Antuna. It is what it is. So the thing is that like. We just like I don't know. I just don't think it's fair that he's getting all the hate or most of it, when in reality, very few played better than him.
We're doing it badly, you know. We have to spread the hate.
Yeah, spread the love, spread the hate. You don't give it to everybody because not many people played better than him. It was either as bad or worse. So I think you know it just doesn't.
Because we were saying like Herrera. Oh yes, he played, but he didn't even get to make a bad pass. He often lost the ball before the bad pass. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and like I said, Pineda on that game yesterday, and even the minutes he had right now, it was just not the Pineda we were trying to see. It's not what we knew, what we know he could do. That he's done it in the national team before, by the way. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. You know, he also would get there at the final third and then mess up the final pass.
And that's the thing. We didn't talk about this on the Spanish version in the US game, you know, but there's this thing that is happening on the national team where your players are playing worse on the national team than with their clubs.
Yep.
Like most of them are playing like I'm not gonna say like everyone is amazing on their club, but they're better, like considerably better, some of them. And they get to the national team and they just crack the bed, just like awful.
Yeah,
Like
agree.
you can see it with Arteaga, you can see it with I can say Sanchez, but
Arteaga played 2 minutes, man. What do you mean?
but when he does play with the national team,
I got you.
Crappy. And I mean, only Edson has been like consistent,
Savable.
because this game against the US, Edson was nothing to be proud of. So I don't know, man. There's some like it's fucked.
It's 100% the system, man. It's
no. But I mean, not the
system, but yeah. That's what
like
I meant.
the feeling in there. You need someone to clear it out. Like I don't know what to do.
It's just a lot of stress, man. Like, and like you could be amazing. You could say stress doesn't have anything to do with it, but it does, man. If you're constantly being shit on for not doing like what you expect,
Twitter, on the media,
everywhere, man. And it's just like that takes a toll, man. That takes a toll.
Yeah.
And like not only just that, I think it's just like to repeat what I said on the other one, like the coach has a lot to do with it, man. Like if you have somebody that like wants to establish their style of play, but is not making the players shine to their strengths, like this is what's gonna happen. Like that's why like in Ancelotti in Real Madrid, where he's like he doesn't have a set style. Yeah, he has like there's an Ancelotti ball, but he doesn't have a set style of play. He gets his players. He's like, all right, you're good here, you're good here, you're good here. All right, everybody to their best strengths. Let's make this happen. And then he forms a tactics around that. You know what I mean? I know it's a meme like, oh, ball to Vinny, but like there's more than that. You know what I mean?
And if you have Vinny, ball to Vinny.
And if you have Vinny, like that's his strength. So ball to Vinny. You know what I mean? So it's things like that, like finding our Ancelotti, like, but that's impossible right now for us, you know. But if you can have somebody that can actually do that and put their players, like when has Edson played at a 2-man midfield? Just two midfielders?
In a 2-man midfield.
Yeah, at Ajax. Like when have you ever seen that?
Never.
You know what I mean? You know, little things like that where like you have these players and you're asking them to do things that they're not comfortable. I think you can play that formation, the 5-2-3 or whatever. Like you can play that formation, but if you put the right players that are comfortable doing the things that they've done at their clubs. Because if you have such little time in the national team to get things ready, you want to make sure they can do it already. So why are you asking for them to do new things?
Yeah, I heard someone, I don't remember if it was on a sports cast or on Twitter that said, whatever there's the problem right now, whatever problem there is in the national team, is not Coca's fault. You know, it's not his fault. But for sure, he's not the solution. Like they need someone to take the pressure away from the players, and he seems to be adding a little bit to it, and just not making them look better than they are. You know what? That's what you need from a coach. Like whatever you can say about Mourinho, for example, like great coach, but one of his strengths is like he takes away the pressure from the players and puts it on himself. Both the reflect, like the spotlight and the pressure and the criticism is everything on him. So his team can shine. You know, like everything. And then he uses that to like shine on some players and like shit on them to pressure. That's something else.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit what Piojo Herrera did. You know, a little bit. He draw a lot of the criticism and let the players alone. You know.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of things like that. You know, like just managing, asking people. Like I think if you just ask them, like, "Yo, where do you want to play?" and then you get a list of everybody what they said, you could probably make a lineup that's pretty well drawn out. You know what I mean? So it's things like that. So I don't know, man. Like even up top, like Santi Jimenez and Henry Martin, both of them like equally, they're great strikers. But like you have all this team that can't even get them the ball. They had 20 touches, a little over 20 touches in both games, and like the Panama striker had like 40 touches. You know what I mean? So how are you supposed to like create with that type of like?
And you know what lineup Panama was playing?
What?
5-3-4-3.
I guess it does work for some, huh?
when you work,
when you want it to. So it's things like that. I mean, like you can say whatever you want about the strikers, but like if they don't get service, I don't care who you have up there, man. Like I don't care who it is up there.
You're not freaking Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
You know, like, but there's nothing else to talk about. You know, we can wait for either Coca to be out or they can choose another schmuck, you know, to get all the blame. But we're fucked, you know. Like there needs to be something bigger of a change in the team. There needs to be like they need confidence. That's all there is, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully we can see something. Next game's gonna be on Sunday against Honduras in the Gold Cup when it starts.
Yeah.
But let's talk about something a little more brightness in this future. You know, a little bit. Let's talk about the under 23 teams that we saw this week. Starting off with the Maurice Revello under 23, which is kind of like I call it the B team. It's the B under 23s. They played first against France, which was literally like under 18 France team, because the real France team is getting ready to play the Euros.
Like 18-ish, you know, like they weren't 16-year-olds.
Yeah, they were like all 18s and around, because the real one is going to the Euros, so they have them over there practicing, getting ready. And it was probably out of all
Mexico's ass, you know.
Yeah. Out of all of the Revello games, I think this probably was the one where Mexico shined the best. Maybe because it was younger players, but they look great.
I mean, they were younger players, but they were taller, bigger, stronger,
better experience,
more experience. You know?
And like I don't know, it just looked amazing. Like we went to penalties, which weren't supposed to, because they invented a penalty for them in the game.
Yeah.
And the second one was still like a little bit of a goal, but we went to penalties and barely made it out because we had to talk about it, man. Like that Marcelo Flores pen, man. Like what? Why? They literally subbed them in to do that.
He saw a bird that he didn't like and just wanted to shut it down.
Fuck you and only you. He just shot it at him, bro. Like they literally subbed them in to do that penalty, and he had me sweating, man. He had me sweating. I thought we were gonna lose it, but we made it. We made it to the final, and we played Panama under 23. The same day that we were gonna play their major team, and oh man, like
all the difference.
4-1. We finally saw what the reality was with this B team, because in the group stage we had that
they're not drilled, you know. They have never trained before this tournament, so they don't know each other.
They themselves were put together, not last minute, but pretty fast.
A little bit.
Pretty fast. And then we had like the group stage where we had the Mediterranean team that was made up like 2 days before the tournament. We had Qatar, and we had Australia, who made us look pretty bad also because of formation, but it still made it look bad. So we had those three teams
which they won the third place.
They won the third place against France. But it was like those three teams that like weren't that great, and then we weren't able to dominate them. And then we go to France, younger team, and then we go to this final against a team that's actually cohesive, that's been worked, that's been like doing their thing.
Very well coached.
And they showed us.
Very well coached.
They showed us.
Yeah, on 3 to 4 years, Panama is gonna be like something dangerous if they keep this up. You know, this level, if they can develop it, they're gonna be great.
Bro, can we get some birth certificates, man? Because those motherfuckers were huge, man. Like, huge. I'm gonna need some proof.
They grow big down there, you know.
It was crazy. And like, no, it was just a pleasure to see it, man, because I mean, when you see like a Central American, CONCACAF team just come in here and play, I always love that, man, when they actually give us a good game, and when we're doing good too, not just when we suck. So right now it was a great game, 4-1, very deserved, and
Yeah,
I'm
man,
honestly not
we
even mad.
saw maybe the best minutes I have seen from Marcelo Flores
Yeah,
since he
it had
was
to
an
be today, huh?
Ajax, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he played like 10 minutes, and those were the best 10 minutes I have seen him since Ajax. I
Arsenal,
said
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I wasn't sure if he said that. I was like, wait, what? I was like thinking about it. But yeah, he
He
did
should
play.
have gone to Ajax.
He did play pretty well in
Yeah.
this last game, even though it was like useless because we were already down by 3 goals when he came in. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a very entertaining tournament. There was a diluted pool of talent overall
Yeah.
because you have the World Cup that was going on, the Youth World Cup. You got the 20 Euros that people were getting ready for. You got all these other tournaments happening around, very important tournaments. So
Yeah.
the teams were diluted for this tournament.
Yeah.
That's usually a very respectable tournament. Right now, just didn't offer that same amount of difficulty, but it was still fun to watch. It was still great to see this team that's not the A team, like we said already. And there was a little nuggets there to take out, man.
Yeah.
There was some good news.
That's the term. It was enjoyable. That's everything you can ask about football, actually.
And now talking about the next game, the next team, which is the 8th under-23 team, they had 2 friendlies. They went over to Europe just to play 2 friendlies, one against Spain, one against France. We talked about the Spain one in the last episode. Was it in the USA episode that we talked about?
Yeah, but that's
okay, so we didn't. So let's go ahead and talk about it just super quick. We played against Spain. We tied 1-1, and it was a very interesting showing by our team because our team has 10,000 minutes combined in the first division, mostly Mexican first division, and then their Spain team has double that in European first division.
In La Liga. So there's a big difference, not only because they have more minutes, but they have way better minutes. On very
better
difficult, better quality leagues. So I mean, if you want to ask why Mexico is struggling so bad to develop players, this is the reason.
That's your answer.
This is how low you can go. The youth level is not playing in quality
which
matches.
is also a little bit unfair because they're in Europe, so obviously they're gonna play in their league. You know what I mean? But we're not playing ours in our league.
Yeah, that's the thing. But also, I mean, you go outside here in Mexico, it's not like you find a football pitch every 3 blocks.
Yeah.
At least not in my city. I mean, it's hot as hell, but it's still.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things where we're talking all this, but my point is gonna be that even with that deficiency, even with that negative characteristic, we were able to pull a 1-1 tie against the Spain team that has been very, very they came to play. They're getting ready to play the Euros. They're not trying to just not care about this game. They came to try to win this.
They went to play. They tried to win.
Yeah.
And Spain couldn't, but France did.
Yeah.
France did win 1-0 against our player, and still Mexico looked great because France is a beast of a team.
That was a great segue, man, to the next game. That even though we did lose, it was a 1-0 game against. If Spain had 20, France had triple. They had 30,000 minutes.
Yeah.
In many leagues, they had in France, obviously, they had Germany, they had Spain, they had Inglaterra, they had England, and they had they had one in Turkey, I think, something like that. But they were spread all over the place, man, and they had 30,000 first team minutes, and that's just insane to me, man. That we were able to get that 1-0 against them, and yes, we had a little bit of luck. Some of that stuff was very lucky that we didn't get scored at 2-0.
The keeper, the Mexican keeper, was looking great, and I'm
El
not talking
Dragon
only
Garcia,
about the
bro. Remember the name El Dragon Garcia, man. What a fucking keeper. He kept us in the game, bro.
I keep saying he looked great, and it wasn't all the mustache. He was playing great.
He looked amazing in all types of ways, man. And it was just I don't know, it was just great to see him. We had this crazy quadruple save by him and the center backs. We just I don't know how we kept that ball out, man. And then after that, it's those little things that they keep the team solidified, And you make those crazy plays, and then you're okay, guys, I think we can actually do this shit. And then we were close to getting that 1-1, man.
Yeah, Fidel
That
and Brice
1-1.
missed one that was so close.
It was just he was there, man. He just didn't kick it right. And oh man, like if we would have had those 2 ties, 1-1s, like that would have been insane, man.
It would have been great for
The self-esteem, man. Against these teams, like I said, I'm gonna repeat again, like they didn't just come to play friendly, like they're getting ready to play the Euros. Like they put their best things out there because they're trying to see like, what's up.
Win.
Yeah, they're trying to see what's up. So no, it was 2 very, very interesting games. It was like just an amazing group of youngsters, man. And if I'm not mistaken, for the South American games, the Central American games, damn.
Again.
We're gonna see a mixture of this A team and a little bit of the B team sprinkled on there to go play that game. So this is really the under 23 team that like not matters, but that has more of the spotlight on them. But just to wrap things up a little bit, EK, give me your favorite player of the whole Nations League. Yeah, of the adult, the main national team. Who was your best player across the window, including the 2 friendlies?
I have to say the one that did that made the better choice in all this game was Guti by not going and
going to Disneyland.
And he seems to be having a little bit of fun. No, I think
he's the only one that has fun.
Like maybe Jonathan Herrera, because he was the one that looked better against the US, and he's a youth player
because of the promise.
This is his first call up to the main team, and he has been looking a little bit green. He doesn't have the best showing these games, but he was okay, especially with this really bad Mexico game. So maybe
I'm gonna say Chavez, because even though obviously he didn't kill it in the Nations League, they went in the friendlies, and he was the least worst out of everybody in the Nations League. So I'd have to give it to Chavez, man.
He was a ghost in these 2 games,
Yeah, and honestly, in these games, you want to be a ghost, man. In these type of situations, you want to be just not seen. Just blend in. Homer meme. He just goes into the bushes.
I mean, I get what you mean, but I don't feel comfortable about this. But like something happier with the Revello team. The Maurice Revello sub under 23B.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite?
For me, Galdames, bro. Oh man, he's just going crazy. He had his little assists on there. He can throw across, man. Like so well that I'm thinking
that's the dream.
Put him in the national team, bro. Like I think he could throw across, man. He could kick across, and he did all the corner kicks, man. Beautiful. He even had some assists off of there as well. So to me, Galdames was one of the bright stars of this team, bro.
For me, it will need to be the captain. Like Juarez, I've been seeing him since like last year. Mm-hmm. He's a really good defender. He's a really good center back. I think he was the strongest performance for Mexico. Yeah. Even though in the final, like he and everyone else just like fell over.
Against that Panama team, it was like, no, you can't look good, man. Like no defense can look good. But no, I agree. I think out of all the players, like if you want to say, oh, we need to like rejuvenate the national team, put a bunch of youngsters, like I think the one that has the most opportunity to make that team would be Juarez.
Especially with this center backs right now,
Yeah, the one that would be the best chance out of his 23 team from Revello would be Juarez to make it.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
And talking about the next, you can do the A team. Who did you like?
Oh, the 8. Oh, Ambri. There was no one else.
That's your guy. Yeah. That's your guy.
I keep saying he's the shining, talent from that generation.
Yeah.
He's the one that's playing every game with Leon. He's the one. He got some like best player of some games in the CONCACAF, like
CONCACAF.
He's a really great midfielder with defensive capabilities. He has played center back. I really want him in Europe. I hope he comes.
Yeah, he'd be one of the most amazing players to see over there. For me, I'm not gonna say somebody that stood out like insanely because he didn't have like an amazing window. But Jordan Carrillo, the position that they played him in as a 10, that just fit him so well. I think he looked like natural on there. Yeah, he looked good. He wasn't a standout. He wasn't like the best player, like I said. But
That was Maurice.
It was Maurice. But I did enjoy a lot. I'd love to see me something like Carrillo, man. I'd love to see me something like Carrillo.
Yeah,
To see
you're
him in
getting a
that
little
10
bit.
position, man. Ooh. It made me
I
feel some
get
type
what
of
you
way,
mean.
bro. Made me feel some type of way.
It's okay.
Well, yeah, man. I think that's what we got for today's episode. We will see you guys on Sunday. First game, Copa Oro, Honduras. Hopefully with a new coach, but we're not sure yet.
Well, are you excited that we may finally get ready to get on the Al Maserati?
The Al Maserati, bro. That's the one that I'm trying to get on right now. Like, because you could say like the Lamborghini, which I wouldn't be mad at. Because
I mean, if they said, "Oh,
we got 4 minutes before it cuts off," so
okay.
let's go ahead.
If you said Jimmy Lozano is gonna coach the national team just the Gold Cup, I'm sure Jimmy will say yes. Like he strikes me as that kind of man. Like, oh, national team, yes, everything for the national team.
For me, it's more than that though. For me, if you're putting Jimmy Lozano, so if you're putting Almada, it would be like, oh, okay, like we're trying to get to the World Cup. It's here at home. Yeah. We want to make sure we're looking good. We want that. If you're putting Jimmy Lozano, you're sacrificing that World Cup at home. Like you're saying, like, okay, long term.
No, I meant you're giving this just the Gold Cup. The main.
No. I know what you mean. But I'm saying, to me, if I'm seeing Jimmy Lozano in the national team, to me is saying, okay, we're sacrificing essentially this World Cup at home, because to me, Jimmy Lozano is going to be a long-term project, like 2 World Cups ahead, looking ahead there, where
you're dreaming. If you think this federation can last,
they don't give a fuck. So that's why I wouldn't want to see Jimmy, because I know he's not going to get that patience. So I think to me it's Almada or bust. But obviously, if you put Jimmy on there, he would need patience. He would need, like, hey, most likely, maybe, but most likely, it's not going to be a great World Cup coming in 2026.
I really like Jimmy. I think he can actually, like
we're not getting to the cuarto part. I mean, with a different format, I get it, but I'm saying we're not getting further than we usually do with Jimmy in 2026.
Maybe. That's the thing. Do you remember who was the coach Argentina had before they won the World Cup?
But
Scaloni. What did Scaloni do?
Messi, bro. We don't have Messi, man. Like, it was the group stage was Messi.
You have
nine muertos, bro.
Same.
It was Messi and like bodies, bro. Like the group stage until the semifinal was when everybody woke up and said, "Oh, I guess, guys, I think we're on the World Cup right now." And that's when they started playing.
Yeah, but I mean, even though that's fairly true,
and Julian Alvarez goes crazy too.
No, but again, what you're saying is right, but you don't need the best coach in the world for the national team. You need someone that gets the player in a mindset that, like puts them in the right position and reads the game and make the changes. That's all you need for a national team coach. I mean, all you need, but it's a lot,
I fear for the world if we find a coach that can give us a prime Uriel Antuna, bro. I fear for the world. It's over, man. It's over, man.
Can you imagine yourself like someone like slaps him 2 times and you say, cross to the player? I get what you mean.
We get a bit of Caribbean team. Let's go. Dude, no joke, no joke.
What do you mean Caribbean? It's France. No. It's Cuba. Don't play.
Like, no joke though. Like, if you have an Antuna that is actually doing what he's supposed to do,
yeah,
like that's
a dangerous player.
Dude, that's a dangerous player. That's what I'm saying. That's why,
we were saying in Spanish, that's basically Vinicius.
Yeah, dude, it's literally like a Mexican Vinicius, bro. It's the same thing. So, yeah, man. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We're running out of time here, but we'll see you guys on Sunday. Don't forget that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. See you guys later.